What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm here with Jordan and his 1990 Toyota Camry.
My name is Jordan and I'm born and raised in Orange County. I'm pretty new to the car scene. I've been maybe like 2016, 2017 when I got into it. But immediately I fell in love with this style. This car, I think my uncle and my dad, they had bought it as a retirement present for my grandpa back in 1991 maybe, I think. It was brand new. He'd been driving it probably up until about 2014, until he stopped driving because he's too old. And then after that, I started driving, so I was looking for a car, and my parents are like, "Oh, it's a really good car to start with. It's a 1990 Camry," and it's because everyone used to have it back in the day, and it's a super easy car to learn how to drive in. They're like, "Yeah, this is gonna be your first car." At first, coming as not a car person, I'm looking at an old car and I'm like, I don't know, it's kind of old, I don't know if I want this. But I fell in love with it really fast, and it's been such a great car, and it's super cool that it's been in the family for this entire life.
So what was the first mod that you did to the car?
The first mod I did was probably slapping on a K&N filter. Like, that's the classic. Everyone's first thing is they put in a short ram intake.
Trying to make it loud, huh?
Yeah, and you get that intake noise, like, wah, and that was the first thing I did, and that was my rabbit hole, like the entrance to the rabbit hole of car modification.
So when did you get to the point of lowering it and starting the Kaido Racer inspiration here?
So I lowered it not too long after I slapped on the intake. I originally had lowering springs and shocks, but 2019 I got coilovers, and then late 2019 is when I met the Kaido Racer guys, and they introduced me to this whole culture. But I didn't start going down that path until maybe about the late 2020. Probably right after the pandemic and stuff like that. That's when I started, because then there's a lot of time to just sit and look online and get all this inspiration. So that's when I was like, okay, a lot of downtime too, where I can start building stuff. So
all these parts for her, like for example, like the fender fins and like the license plate cover, are these made by hand?
So some of them I got through like my Kaido Racer friends, like the guys who have been building them. Some of them had some parts laying around, and some of them they make parts, so they were able to give me like a part that I can modify to fit, and then the rest of it I did myself. So I made it from scratch. The front lip completely from scratch. I made that one from foam and fiberglass. The side skirt was actually a Cressida side skirt that I chopped to fit. Surprisingly, it fits pretty easy. You just shorten it a little bit, like maybe inch or two in the front, inch in the back, and then
mold it together. Huh?
Yeah, since it's the car is a square, so everything kind of fits real easy, because all the Toyotas were just squares and everything. So. On Kaido Racers, they a lot of the times, for different events or just in general, they like to put an oil cooler in the front, and usually you're not supposed to hook it up. I think maybe some guys, they will hook it up to the oil system, but just to avoid rock chip and then your oil goes everywhere, it's just all for show. So it's the most common one to use is an oil cooler from RX-7 FC. So that's what this one is, and it's just running. It just the hoses go in and they don't go anywhere.
So right now it's just for looks right now.
Yeah, so 99% of the time they do it for looks, because they're just scared to lose all their oil.
Yeah, it does make sense though, because it's right here in the front.
Yeah,
and then rocks will probably chip one of these fins, whatever, and then that would be a very nasty aftermath. Oil splatter everywhere.
Yeah, oh, definitely. My whole front end is actually different than a regular Camry. So I have the front fascia is all from Japan. So the corner lights, the headlights, the grille, they're from something called the ES-V21 Camry. More like a luxury looking package that they sold in Japan. And it comes with the Crown Camry like looking badge, and you have to change up everything because it all fits together. You need the little nose piece, the grille, the headlights, the corner lights. You can't just swap like one piece over. The bumper itself is from the Lexus version of this car called the ES250. It was the very first Lexus like ever made, and it was basically a Camry rebadged as a Lexus, different body. In Japan it's called the Camry Prominent. But I took this bumper and then I molded this lip. Basically I made a template out of expanding foam, I shaped it out with like a knife, and then I put fiberglass over it, and then that's how I made the lip. And I took heavy inspiration from some Cressida lips for this one. The fender spoiler is one of my Kaido Racer buddies. His name is Ryan. He had these in his garage and he hit me up one day. He's like, hey, I think these would look really cool in your car. He just told me like, hey, just shoot me 100 and just come pick them up. And I'm like, they were off of like, I think before they were on a Prelude, like a first gen Prelude. And before that, they're on like I think a Crown or something, or maybe like they were from Japan basically. They didn't need a lot of fitting. It's just I had to make the mounting tabs and then just sand the bottom to the curve of my fender. But otherwise, I got them pretty much like this, which was pretty neat. So on this specific style of Kaido Racer, it's called Heiso style. The whole thing was basically like they went at all the cool add-ons, like the cool luxury features. So the antenna on top are a TV antenna. They were part of a package that Panasonic made for television sets for cars. And basically they're just picking up the TV stations, and they're removable too. So like you can, like when you're driving and stuff, if you don't want it, you can take this off. It's on like a slider and they just click back in place. It's pretty cool way to, if you're, and back in the day, it's for like if you're traveling with your family and you want to watch some TV, the kids are in the back or something, you have that hooked up, kind of ingrained in the Heiso style of the Kaido Racer, because it was that luxury feature. And then the antenna back here, these ones are actually car phone. I think on some of the LS400s you might see them, but this specifically, I changed this out to have an LED inside because there was a specific kind of antenna, the same style, that it was a neon, and that was like one of the cool like add-ons you could get, was this neon antenna, and I couldn't find neon antenna, so I just made an LED one using the same parts from the regular like antenna. And then this one back here is another TV antenna.
So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
This one's called a boomerang antenna. It's basically almost the same as the ones up there in terms of what it does. Yeah. It's just for the TV, picking up stations. It's also another common thing to see on the Heiso style cars because it is like a luxury item on the Heiso style. There's like maybe 3 or 4 different spoilers people run. This is one of them, and this is one of the ones that my buddies actually make. And they had one lying around. I was like, hey, can I come, just test fit it, see what it looks like? They're like, yeah, sure. Put it on. I was like, this is what I want. I instantly knew, and then one of my buddies, he has one. I saw it in his car, and I was like, it looks so good. And it's called a Nidon wing. So Nidon for two levels, because it goes up one and then it comes out. But yeah, it's just one of those like the Heiso style wings that flowed really well with what I had. Yeah, so the bottom lip, that one I also made from scratch. I made it at the same time I made the front lip, and it's actually made off of not my original, but it's made off of the mud flaps for this car. Because it was actually one of the first things I made on the car, because originally it didn't have the little part that comes out. It was just
straight down.
Yeah, just straight down. I wanted to match it to my front lip when I made that, so I had just built out the edge. Then I had made the little middle part out of pretty much the same thing. This is aluminum with some fiberglass on it. I get pretty nitpicky about all my stuff, so I wanted to make sure that it flowed really well. And there's still a lot of stuff I want to do. I want to eventually make it one piece, because I love just the way it kind of sits and helps accent and complement the rest of the body kit. But I also it's heavy, so I want to make it out of all fiberglass at some point.
So what inspired you to do those exhausts like that?
I've always loved blast pipes. Like I always thought they look cool. Some people don't like them, but for me, when I see drift cars, the big ass blast pipe, I'm like, that's sick. And it just so happens that a lot of the Kaido racers, they like to run crazy blast pipe. The bigger ones you see are called Takiari. I wanted something a little more like street friendly, so I just did some triple blast pipes. Triple because size you're supposed to run is you don't go bigger than 1.5 inch exhaust diameter, and I didn't want to have just 2 because I have a full exhaust, so I wanted to still keep it flowing decently. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna add a third one, and I saw it and I was like, man, it looks cool. These are just like curtains. I made them from like Joann's Fabric and like Home Depot stuff. It's not super standard on Kaido racers, but I just thought it added kind of a nice element because I have curtains in the rear. That is more common on Kaido racers. I was like, okay, kind of wanted to flow a little bit into the lace headrest covers, because that's also, it's just that very old school. They like to put all the doily stuff because it looks fancy, kind of fitting into that style. So the chandelier, that's more, that one kind of leaned more into VIP, where the VIP guys, they like to do like the the crazy headliner and then the chandelier, just to give it that like executive look. Kaido Racers, not so much. Heiso, they have some chandeliers, but they're a little different. This is the only one I could find and source over here without spending a fortune to import one. This car actually had a really rare option for a digital cluster. It's like impossible to find. There's maybe in like, I've seen 3 in the States that, and over the past like 15-20 years that I've showed up, I have been chasing one for the longest time, and I finally was able to get my hands on one, and it is probably one of my favorite things I've done, because it was the payoff of looking for probably about 5 years for one, non-stop, just searching and searching. But it's like, it's super rare. It has like the option to choose between miles or kilometers. You got like digital tach, digital temp gauge, digital gas gauge, and it's just one of those things that you see on Kaido Racers too. A lot of them, they have the digital dashes for like their Cressidas. I was like, man, I really want to have that in my car. I was, I don't know, super stoked when I got it, because it's just, again, it was super rare. It probably, out of everything on my car, it was the hardest thing to find, and it had the biggest payoff for me, because when I got it, I was like, I can stop looking, I'm free. Stock the motor wise, but I got a lot of random goodies. 90% of this is like preventative maintenance stuff that I added on because it'll help me not break my car. So I have an actual oil cooler. This one's actually hooked up, it's functional. It's because just my temps get kind of hot. Yeah, the strut bar, that one I made from, I had some tubes that I bent, cut it out, mocked it up, welded it all together. Does it really help? I don't know, but it looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's made for it.
Yeah.
So earlier you said that you would like to swap it to like a Beams motor someday.
Yeah, my dream motor for this car is a 3SGE Beams red top. It's been swapped in these cars a couple times. Every time I see one, I'm like, it's so cool. It sounds so good. It has like modern power, and it's a pretty straightforward swap, I guess, mechanically. It's just the wiring. You gotta spice in the harness and everything, but motor mounts all fit up. Like, I can fit anything that's an S motor, so 3SFE, 5SFE, 3SGE, 3SGTE. They'll all fit in here, they'll drop in. It's just the wiring you have to do. But otherwise, all the mounts are like almost exactly the same, which is nice. It's cool.
So is this car manual or automatic?
So this car is originally automatic, but I swapped it to manual, and I yoinked the transmission out of a Celica. Yeah, I mean, they came manual from the factory, but it's just kind of, because it's people who want the base model, just buying it just to putt around, and they don't want to spend a lot of money on the automatic because those, the nicer, higher option. I got it out of ST184 Celica, so 1993 was the year I pulled it out of.
So it puts right in it.
Yeah, it was super straightforward. It's literally, I just take the transmission out of the Celica, bolt it up, and I just have to change one bracket in the rear for the motor mount and then one bracket on the side for the motor mount. Yeah, it's just, I had to reuse the ones from the Camry. And after I did that, it fit. Didn't give me any issues with, like, there was no wiring involved, and there's nothing, no cutting, no special fabricating. It's just Lego piece. Just take it off, put it on.
Alright guys, so there you have it. Jordan's 1990 Toyota Camry with all these self-made parts. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video and Jordan's story. Tomorrow I'll be catching up with one of Jordan's friends, Thomas, on his MR2. So stay tuned for that video as well. So Jordan, I want to thank you for making time today.
Yeah.
Appreciate it very much. Any shout outs to people that out there that you want to give a shout out to?
Well, thanks again first for having me. Super cool to talk about this. Shout outs for all the guys that have helped me build this car. My friend Kevin Lowry, he's the one who got me into this style. My friend Irving, who also got me into this style. John and Astrid over at Moonlight Runners, they're the ones who've helped me piece together my body kit and help with the flow. My homie Blackwood Ryan, he's the one who gave me these fender spoilers. And then my just all my friends basically, like my homies Justin, Anthony, Thomas too. They're the ones who've just been helping me the whole time with my car. Been a good time, and I appreciate everyone who's pretty much helped me put this together. Every Cars and Coffee that's local I can. Cars Coffee Classics, State of Speed.
And of course, Toyota Fest. As
Oh
well.
yeah, Toyota Fest. I'll be there. JCCS. You'll
Yeah.
catch me there.
All right. So if you see Jordan's car out there, don't be shy and go say what's up to Jordan. All right, Jordan.